fake Kelsey Grammer to kick this show off.
Let's kick this pig.
Here we go. Well, hello there, everyone. This is Keith from Keith's Comics, and we're coming to you live from our Keith's Comics warehouse and studio, and where we're hoping that our friends in the Southeast are dry and safe, as they had a really no good, too bad last few days. Actually, I guess last month. Well, let's have some fun here tonight and sell you some comics, because full transparency, that's what I'm here to do. All right, Kaylin, we have audio across the board, correct? Yay, Kaylin's over here. Chris is going to be showing you the books one at a time later on, as we try to say. And then Cindy is over there just, I don't know, she's back up. She's ready to go at a moment's notice. All right, let's see, what else is going on here? All the microphones are on, that's good. And let's see if this camera, I can turn it on. No, I cannot. I have to wait till I get to a different screen. That's all good. No. Yep, that sure do. All right, Cindy, go find the fake Kelsey Grammer so we can start this show.
That's my job. Let's kick this pig.
All right, it's time to kick the pig and start the show.
Keith's Comics.
All right, reminder, we do have audio. And this is a no Agatha zone, as that show is still playing. We don't want to do any spoilers for anyone, because that's just how we roll here. We're going to be showing you comics one at a time on this cool screen. Let's do the first comic so I can make sure the camera's working right, Chris. Yeah, it looks good. We'll be doing these comics one at a time, talking about them a little bit, see if I can entice you to match your FOMO with your budget. And if you do, claim the title of the book into the comment section of the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page. You can certainly watch our show on any of our other pages, and that's all great. But if you want to claim something, you need to be on the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page. So many of you watch in the future and claim later on, and we certainly appreciate that, and we would like to encourage that. And if you are watching in the future, hello, future. And thank you, Kaylin, for the awesome graphics there. All right, so we're about ready to get started with Thor's Day. We're Thor Light on the first show, so let's just go ahead. We won't get a chance to use our Thor graphic more than once. It doesn't look like, but there we go. Thor's Day. Happy Thor's Day, everybody. All right, Chris, you're ready to go, right?
Yep.
All right. So the first book here is a Batman, number 312. Hang on. See, I can do that. Can I turn on? I can, but it's not working correctly. Okay, Batman, number 312 from 1979. Batman, and who is that, Chris?
Calendar Man?
Calendar Man.
Yeah, I think he was dressing up as different
holidays throughout.
Holidays and stuff like that.
Is he the guy that eventually becomes a serious villain in Long Halloween?
Yes.
All right, so here he is just trying to punch Batman, which is always a bad idea. Who is the guy that sang, Rich would know this, the Calendar song? Is that Frankie Valli? Am I remembering that right? So here we go. Frankie Valli punching Batman. Issue 312. Is that a giant caterpillar in the background? Or am I just seeing that wrong?
I think you're seeing it wrong, but it is a nice Simonson and Giordano cover.
All right, Simonson and Giordano. Nice. $6 if you type claim Batman 312 into the Keith's Comics Network feed here in the comment section. All right, next up.
Another Batman. Where does he get such wonderful toys?
All right, there we go. Quote from the movie. Batman, first appearance of Batman 1989 in comics. So, you know, collectors, they like their first appearances. From 1989, this is the first printing of the square-bound graphic novel Batman movie adaptation. All right. So this was, oh my gosh, this
Jerry Ordway art inside.
Jerry Ordway art, and it was a panic when it came out. Let me tell you what. There's several different versions of this. There's also a square-bound paper cover, and I believe just a straight-up comic version of this, and a couple of different covers on that. I don't even know how many different printings there were of this, or if there even was more than one. But there we go. They don't really do movie adaptations anymore, do they?
No.
It's interesting. All right, Batman 1989 #1, the graphic novel of the first movie from 1989, $11. All right, next up. Wow, we're going to go all different ways. We went from Jack Nicholson Joker to Brian Boland Joker here, and Alan.
Scary, right?
Well, very scary. All right, next up is a really gigantic book there. This is the first printing, how you can differentiate the different printings of the Killing Joke is the color of the Batman, the Killing Joke on there. This is the, I guess this would be gross green. That is definitely a first printing there. All right, well, my screen, there we go. We got a full 30-second delay on this screen. From 1988, this first printing of the classic Batman the Killing Joke is $50 in store. This is a very nice copy of this. $42 if you claim it here. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the Keith Cam. I don't know what's going on with that. The Keith Cam, all right, so you go ahead and put another book up while I try to sort out the Keith Cam.
Put up the graphic.
Uh-oh, what graphic is that? Oh, Thor's Day graphic, all right. That's right. Thor's Day. It's Thor's Day. All right, the only Thor we're going to have, I guess, in tonight's show, issue 145, Abandoned on Earth. A great Kirby cover here. It's what we would call a really solid reader copy of this from 1967. Looks like, what is that? Some kind of wind going through there? I don't know what's going on.
Abandoned on Earth.
Oh, yeah. So right out of the movie, I guess. $12 for this Good Plus copy in store. You can claim it here for $8. $8 for Thor. Claim Thor number 145. I'm dressed in all black. That's right. All right. Let me see. Hang on just a second. Go ahead and put the next book up while I try to sort out the Keith Cam here.
We don't have Thor comics, but we do have Thor adjacent comics.
Thor adjacent.
Like
Oh, yeah, that is.
even above the masthead right there.
Oh, yeah. Friends of Thor's. Let's see. That camera is not working, so let's try this camera. That camera's not working, so let's try this camera. Ta-da! I should be on now. Hi, there I am, and hello, everybody. The Keith Cam is up and running. Sorry I did that to your screen. It's probably going to melt some pixels now. All right, up next is this Avengers number 101 from 1972. It has 5 dooms to save tomorrow. Who's the cover artist on there? It looks like, I don't know who that looks like exactly. This is, man, does it say Buckler? Rich Buckler there on the bottom left? All right, there you go. Buckler, for me, I always thought he was always trying to ape somebody else, which ends up being a good thing after a while, because some of his artwork looks like Kirby, and then sometimes he looks like Neil Adams, and then sometimes he just got his own stuff going on. $12 for this Avengers number 101, and if you let it slide out to the store, it's a solid VG copy. Only $8 if you claim it here. Claim Avengers number 101 for $8. In shrink mode. I'm not talking to anybody. Next up.
Avengers Annual with a ton of guest stars.
More Avengers. Oh, yes. You know Keith loves anytime we have multiple people. Oh, look at it. There's a lot of people in this book.
That small print of all the people who are there, even Dracula.
Even Dracula's in this book?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Avengers Annual 16 from 1987. $10 in store or $6. Oh, there's Black Knight right there underneath the 6. He's got the Forbush Man helmet going on there. $6 if you claim it here for Avengers Annual 16 from 1987. Next up. What is that? Some kind of alarm going off there?
I'm trying to turn it off.
All right.
House of Mystery.
Wow.
Wake up, everybody.
Yeah, all right. It's time. Where are we going?
I don't know. It's one of my old alarms. So I don't even know what it was for.
All right. Up next, a great classic book, House of Mystery. Ooh, from 1964. This issue number 154 features look like the U.S. Army or some Army versus some kind of purple.
Demon.
Is that the grandfather of the Shake guy from McDonald's? What's his name? Grimace.
Oh, Grimace.
That's Grimace's grandpa there. From
Possibly.
all right, the Army versus Grimace's grandpa there, and then you also have a Martian Manhunter story in here too. From 1964, this is a really sharp copy. Fine minus.
John Jones.
John Jones. from 1954. See, he's so deep undercover you didn't even remember his name.
His name is even wrong.
Fine minus copy from 1964. $10 if you claim it here for this House of Mystery. $15 if it gets out to the store. Next up.
Next up, another House of Mystery.
What?
Issue.
We are the king of House of Mystery. Oh, this is a double whammy for John Jones. And if you are not familiar with this character, he was in the original Justice League. He was in the backup stories and a lot of detectives through the late 50s and into the 60s before he never got his real own book there. He had House of Mystery. He was the lead character in this for a while. But he has a huge disadvantage in that fire is his kryptonite. And so I'm not sure about the sun rays. I don't know if that's going to work on him, but that fire down there is going to be a real problem. And I don't think, I guess Oreos had been invented, or was it Hydrox at this time? I know those.
I think Hydrox was in a different region.
Well, all those cookies, I watched that on the Food That Makes America. They were early 1900s.
Oh, okay.
So those cookies were out there. A House of Mystery, so who knows? Maybe he brought them to the earth, for all we know. From 1965, issue 153, $12 in store, $8 if you claim it here. Next up.
We got a twofer.
A twofer?
Weird War Tales.
Oh, yes. All right. A twofer means that we have 2 issues here for $6, right? All right. 2 issues for $6. Weird War Tales.
6 and 7.
Issues 6 and 7. The number 6 is a very low grade. These are pretty pricey in higher grades, and they have great. What you said, a lot of Kubert art inside of these.
I think he was the editor for a long time.
There you go. Weird War Tales number 6 and 7 in a twofer. That means these 2 consecutive issues are only $6. Nice. Next up,
Swag Time.
Swag Time. Oh, nice. Swag Time. Swag Time is the time whenever we try to sell you stuff that we buy in collections that we just don't have any place to put. Swag Time. Swag Time. Look at that Swag Time. All right, what do we got there for Swag Time?
Starting off the plate, we got a Donald Duck and Chippendale plate.
Oh, a little collector's plate for the Donald Duck's 50th anniversary. This is the kind of stuff we get in collections all the time. But where are we going to put this in one of our stores? So we'll just offer it to y'all here. If we don't sell these, we're going to end up putting these in grab bags. And this is a really cool little thing. Somebody in your circle of friends may be into Donald Duck, and now you have a nice white elephant gift. $10 for this Chippendale plate. Next up.
Transformer portfolio. Sorry, the Terminator comic just came out this week.
Transformers. Look at this. If you this would have been. I know we had these in the
80s.
we had them in the early 80s too. So if you open that up, look at that. An original Transformers. Look. Oh my gosh! It has all the information on all the Transformers. I always told people there's more than meets the eye to these. So for $2, you can go back in time. Does it have a date on this? Is this mid 80s?
Late 80s, I think.
Yeah. So there we go.
86.
1986. $2 for the Transformers portfolio.
Stan Lee Life of Marvel magazine.
Oh yes, when the passing of Stan Lee in 2018. Good gosh, has it already been over 5 years? Goodness gracious me. $4 for this entertainment special edition here. I think this was probably a $10 or $12 book when it came out. It kind of goes through his life and times. Oh, look at that. Crazy cool. So there you go. $4 for that. Who is not a Transformer? All right. This is the 54th comic book Overstreet came out this year, and this is 52. Still sealed in its original plastic. It's $3 or it's free. It's not half price. It's $3 or it's free if you promise to give it away to somebody so that they can enjoy the fun of collecting. All right, next up.
You didn't have a price on this one.
Oh, because I don't have a price for that yet. I need to come up with a price. Pablo, what do you think this is worth? This is the first year of interleague play. I'm going to put, I don't know, $50 on it. Let's see here. Let's see. Until Pablo tells me I'm wrong. This is when the Colorado Rockies came to the, here, I don't know what it is. I'll look it up later and we'll put it in a different slide. But we bought a big collection this weekend. It had a whole bunch of mid '90s and late '90s Rangers and Dallas Cowboys newspapers and programs and stuff. I'm very excited to go through those as a mid '90s fan of these. Was '97 maybe 10? All right, 10 times 50, $500 is for this. The Rockies visiting this was what was this? This was the ballpark that is no longer their ballpark, right? They tore that down, right? Rangers versus Rockies, 1997, $50. Pablo says 10. So Pablo, there you go.
And then last but not least, we have a bag of swag. McDonald's giveaways from Batman the Animated Series. Got a Catwoman and her cat, Batgirl, Riddler, and Poison Ivy in her little Poison Ivy mobile.
For all of us, these are 30 years old now. Holy smokes! These came in Happy Meal toys at McDonald's. Wow, I can remember these rolling around our house forever. So $5 for the whole package. I don't know if this is a complete set or not, but this is what we have. This is what we have. It's $5. Next up.
That's it.
Oh, swag is done. All right, there we go. Swag is done. Swag is done. Swag is done. The San Francisco Giants and the Texas Rangers were the first interleague game. Oh, neat. All right, Justice League of America, number 35. A well-read copy, a good minus from 1965. But lots of nice action here. Well, a whole bunch of supervillains. You got to like that. Man, who are they punching? The wobbly guy?
The bodiless, whatever, I can't read it upside down.
Issue 35 of Justice League of America. It gets a low grade because you can look at the upper right there. It's just missing a chunk. Somebody had to throw away their gun.
In an early outfit, I believe. That's Killer Moth, and that is Pied Piper.
Pied Piper, there we go. And Polaris, yeah. Nice. From 1965, $16 even in this grade, or $10 if you claim it here. Oh, you went to that game? No, there were no CDs tonight. Cindy decided that there would be no CDs, so she didn't put any in the show.
Yeah, we just gotta relocate where all the CDs are hidden.
Well, yeah, we don't know. we kind of mind that well a little bit. All right, next up.
A lot of well.
Another Justice League.
Justice League of America, number 34 versus Iron Giant. It looks like there. Oh, look, we got some Joker. We got the Aztec Prince back there.
Dr. Destiny, who's the bad guy.
Oh, of course he is. And then from 1965, issue 34. Wow, 1965. That's a long time ago. $20 in store, $12 if you claim it here. No Cyclops tonight either, Ty, because we were putting together this show and we bought a whole bunch of cool stuff that we just basically are going to use that show. Sorry to let you down, Ty. I believe that there's going to be a handful in the second show. And if you're just now joining us, there is a second show at 8:15, but it'll all be ratio variant. So it'll all be like basically brand new stuff. The 1 in 25s, the 1 in 10s, there's a couple of 1 in 50s in there. That'll be the second show about 8:15. $12 for this Justice League of America, number 34. Next up. The first appearance of the Queen Bee, Beyonce, in comic book form. Number 23 from 1963, $30. Oh, wow. It looks like they're at Epcot, though, right? Mm-hmm. $20 if you claim it here. I guess they set that stuff on fire and it'll get rid of John Jones there. $20 if you claim Justice League, number 23. Next up.
Trade paperback.
Oh, yeah. This is a Star Trek Countdown. Wow. Was this a movie? Is this the prequel to a movie? I'm not sure what's going on there. From 2009 or 2007? I can't read it there.
2009.
2009.
Movie.
So a cover price of $18, $10. We got this in a recent collection from somebody. If you're a big Star Trek fan, Countdown here. Cindy, what is Star Trek Countdown?
I'm just trying to look because I'm looking at there's Picard's in there.
Yeah, Picard's in there, and is that Spock or is that a new version of Spock?
Was the prequel to the 2009 Star Trek.
The prequel with all these other characters. Neat. $10. Next up.
And here's another Countdown to Darkness.
Oh, well, that's a different book than that.
Yeah, it's after.
Well, what is that book that what is this one?
Well, this was the countdown to the motion picture event of 2009 begins here, and the exclusive graphic novel prequel to Star Trek, the upcoming blockbuster film from Paramount Pictures.
Oh, it had the original cast in it, right? And then
The
4 years.
origin of Nero, the mysterious Romulan who will ultimately threaten the survival of the entire universe.
Oh, the origin of Nero. There we go. That's cool. That movie holds up. I've been watching it because it has some great action scenes in it. And then next up is this Star Trek Countdown to Darkness. That has the what's his name in it, right? Sherlock Holmes.
I think so.
Yeah, Cindy.
Spock is in there again. What now? Say it again.
Darkness has Sherlock Holmes in it, right? The Star
Benedict
Trek and
Cumberbatch.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, yes. I'm like, Sherlock Holmes, what's he talking about? Yes.
Star Trek can't how to keep up. Star Trek Countdown to Darkness trade paperback from 2013. $18 cover price. $10. $10 if you claim it here. Next up, thanks Ty. Ty was listening. He was on top of it.
Sherlock Holmes, what's he talking about?
Yes, Ty knows everything Star Wars,
Because
Star Trek.
Data played a Sherlock Holmes character in Star Trek, so my mind went to there.
Aha!
Superboy.
Prequel to Chris Pine first movie, which again I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that movie. All right, Superboy number 195 from 1973. First appearance of a character named Erg, E-R-G, who goes on to become a Legion of Superhero member. I forget his name. Wildfire, yeah. VG Plus copy of this. Is that a Carmen Infantino or a Nick Cardy cover, or maybe both of them? From 1973, $12 in store, $9 if you claim it here. Superboy. Cool. Dang it, I thought we were going to get you on those Star Treks, Ty, but I guess you already have those. Next up.
Adaptation of the Supergirl movie.
Well, we're all about adaptations. We got 2 Star Wars, a Batman, and a Supergirl. Oh, did I say Star Wars again? Star Trek. You fans with your Treks and your wars. Supergirl number 1 from 1985. Who is this? Helen Slater in this movie?
Big role.
Her big role. All right. $18 in store. $14 if you claim it here. It's VF copy of that. Oh, that's sad. Look at that Twin Towers in the background there. Nice. The official adaptation of the movie Supergirl. $14 if you claim it here. Next up. We've had these in the show before, but we got some more in a different collection. These were given away at military. This is a two for $6. Yeah, these were given away on military bases. I don't know if they were. I didn't even peek inside of that. I don't know if they're trying to get some kind of point across, or if they were just something to read while you're moving from station to station. These 2 books, $2. Two books for $6. Twofers, promotional giveaways. Next up, Larry's here. You were creeping around in the background, eh, Larry? I see what's going on here. Giant Size Annual. Is this the start of our big bit for tonight?
Yep.
It's the reason why we don't have a lot of Thor or Cyclops is because the next several books are going to be this really cool, amazing Spider-Man collection that we got. Some very old vintage stuff. So did you text everybody you knew was a Spider? Is Sean here? All right. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21. First of all, there's multiple covers on this. She's not keeping his secret identity very well hid there. From 1987, this is the newsstand version. There's also a version of this with Peter Parker and all his characters around him. This is $18 for this fine. It's a really pretty book, but it's technically going to be a fine minus. $15 if you claim it here. $15 for Giant Size Annual number 21, featuring the wedding of Spider-Man and Mary Jane. I can't say Peter Parker because he's not on there. Next up. Here we go. Spider-Man time. Let's roll. Amazing Spider-Man number 70. This is a really cool collection. A 70-year-old gentleman brought him in. He had a subscription to these Amazing Spider-Mans way back in when? 1968 and 1969. So while these books are pretty solid and read a few times, but they were gently taken care of, and he's been holding on to them. But all of them have the subscription crease because of the heinousness of the subscription system back then. They would fold the comic long ways, put a brown wrapper on it, a label, and mail it to you. So as a result, they all have, if you look very closely, you can see from the Z through the R, through the Spider-Man's thigh, through the yellow, through the gun, there is a crease. So that means maximum it can be a VG plus, like a 4, 5, maybe a 5. If you're very lucky, it doesn't break color and it can be pressed out, but I've only seen that just a handful of times.
You're saying it's not little Johnny's fault this time?
It's not little Johnny's fault. We don't have to build a time machine and go back in time and smack him around. All right, but these are really cool books. We're going to put them in the store, and we're going to bust through these really quick so you can see a whole bunch of Spider-Mans all together from one owner, one original owner. Amazing Spider-Man number 70, VG Plus, copy 1969, $35 if you claim it here. Next up. They're still married in the 616. Hang on, got some. All right, next up. Oh, you see, I had a Fantastic Four subscription, and I was distraught when it started coming, and they were folded in half. All right, next up, Amazing Spider-Man Crisis on Campus. They're still in the Crisis bit from DC. Issue number 68 from 1969 is a solid VG copy. Actually, we were able to clean this one up a little bit, and you can barely tell that it's a subscription book, but it is. From 1969, $50 in store, $45 if you claim it here. Next up. Oh, Giant Hand Alert. Giant Hand Alert. There it is. Amazing Spider-Man versus Mysterio at Palisades Park, it looks like. From 1968, $50. This is a very swell book. VG Plus. But yeah, if you look closely, just to the right of the Mysterio's thumb there, you can see the crease that goes through it. Oh, damn it. It's $44 though, still solid book. And when you open these books up, you just go, oh my gosh, these are great. But it is what it is. There you go. Next up, look at Amazing Spider-Man 169. I'll have to see a picture of that to see what that is. Oh my gosh, it's Mysterio. The Madness of Mysterio, issue 66. Another VG with a subscription crease on there. Look at that. $90. Man, this is a great classic cover. 78 if you claim it here. Next up. It's the Mount Rushmore issue of Hands from Nowhere. That is correct. Escape Impossible. This is probably a new show on the Discovery Plus channel. Amazing Spider-Man Escape Impossible, 65, issue 65 from 1968, VG, solid VG, $40 or $34 if you claim it here. Next up. Oh, look at that. Wowzers. That's John Romita staying up all night making that cityscape is what he was known for. Issue 64, The Vulture's Prey, $60 if you wait, let it get to the store. $50 if you claim it here. $50. Next up.
What's better than one vulture?
Dos Vultures. All right. Dos Vultures, Amazing Spider-Man 63, great black cover on this. Makes this book usually more expensive. A solid VG copy. Can you imagine how much this book would be if it didn't have a subscription crease? Oh my gosh. From 1968, $45 in store, $38 if you claim it here. Look at that. Next up, oh, classic book with only slight Texas patina here. The first appearance of Medusa. Oh, right. Issue 62. Look at that design by John Romita. Crazy cool stuff on that. Issue 62 of The Amazing Spider-Man. A solid VG again. $70 in store. $60 if you claim it here. Next up. Oh, look at that. Look at the yellows on that. From 1968. Oh, my God. First Gwen Stacy on the cover. First Gwen Stacy on the cover? Really? All the way to issue 61 before she got on the cover? Wow. Somebody's going to have to check me on that because I find that hard to believe. But Chris probably looked it up. From 1968, $50 or $42 if you claim it here. Amazing Spider-Man, 61. And that looks like some peril there.
Just a little.
Just a little. Next up. Well, who isn't weak for Mysterio covers? They're awesome. How about batter up? Oh, bitter victory. This is a VG Plus. We could arm wrestle about it, but it's super hard to find this book because it's so deep black and it shows every little stress mark. Wow, look at that. A VG Plus copy, $48 in store, $40 if you claim it here. Next up. Oh, Oh, let's see. First MJ on the cover. So MJ made it to the cover before Gwen Stacy.
Did she appear before, or was Gwen Stacy in the comic before?
Well, Gwen Stacy was in the comic before, but she didn't make it to the cover, evidently, is what we're saying. Issue 59. Look at that. Spidey is beating up the thugs behind the curtain, and Mary Jane's just a going. $100 is what I'm going to put on this if it makes it out of the store. $85 if you want to claim it here. Great yellows on this book, and Spidey in action. Look at the blues on Spider-Man's thighs there. Nice book. The Brand of the Brainwasher. $85. Next up. Yes, they all have creases. Some are harder to see than others. Like I said, this is all from one guy who had a subscription throughout the 60s, and it is what it is, unfortunately. So maybe they can be pressed out, but if they break color, it's party's over. And even most of the times, even if you can press it out, usually at the top of the, where's the camera? There, at the top and at the bottom where the crease is, there's always just a little bit of, fray. So it is what it is. All right, so issue 58, I'm still happy to have these books. They are awesome. Issue 58, some kind of kill spider machine there from 1968. $40 for this book or $35 in store. Next up.
Last of our Spider-Man.
The last of the Spider-Man run. The gift runneth out here. Issue 57, Spider-Man and Kazar. Now, this collection, while we are showing you all the Spider-Mans, had a bunch of other cool stuff in it. Nothing high grade, but then nothing all thrashed out either. So we'll be putting those in the stores, in the shows later on. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 57 from 1968, $38 for this VG Plus with one of my favorite characters, Zabu, right there. I don't know how he got 50 stories up, but who's going to argue with the saber-toothed tiger, right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, I mean, does the saber-toothed tiger have to ride in a one of those carts underneath the plane whenever they're coming in? I don't know. No, if the saber-toothed tiger pretty much sits wherever he wants to.
Pretty much.
All right, $38 for this Amazing Spider-Man. Next up,
Lightning round.
Lightning round. What? How did we get here, Pablo? It's time for you to take a nap. All right, lightning round. We have $1, $2, and $3 bins in the stores, and these are $1, $2, and $3 comics. Chris has been crushing it in the warehouse the last couple of weeks, and we just have so many books we're processing. If you haven't been to our stores recently, man, drop in and take a look through the back issues. Fun stuff. All right, Chris, let's roll.
We got $1, $2 book.
$1, $2 book. This is Fantastic Four number
174 with Torgo.
Torgo. All right, right out of the Kirby playbook. Next up.
The rest are all of them are $3. The rest are $3. Black Pink Panther.
Dun 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 dun. Pink Panther from Whitman. What? Did I write the numbers on the
37?
Number 37 of the great classic cover. That'd be a great gift for somebody, I think. All right, next up. Oh, classic.
12-3.
Adam 12. See the man about the comic. Adam 12, number 3, $3. Next up.
We got 2 Dennis the Minutes, which you got free with Caladrill, which is a lotion.
Wow. All right, so we have 2 promotional comics from whenever this was. Does it say what year that is? No. That's got to be late 60s, right?
Possibly early 60s.
Yeah, so we can take care of 2 different people on this. $3 for this Dennis the Menace promotional comic that you got free when you purchased Caladrill. All right, next up.
Mr. District Attorney.
Mr. District Attorney. This is missing the back cover of this, but it's a great DC comic from, I don't even know when this is. It's got to be the mid-50s, right?
Yeah, 50s.
Yeah, it's missing the back cover.
Radio show.
Yeah, Mr. District Attorney was a radio show. It's hard for us younger people to realize that there was no TV yet, and the entertainment all day, every day was radio dramas. And Mr. District Attorney was one of the most popular. And he had a comic that has run longer than most She-Hulk miniseries. Oh, wow. So, Mr. District Attorney, what number is this?
62.
Number 60. It's number 62. Marvel Comics very rarely get into the 20s anymore. Mm-hmm. This at least 62 issues of this. If you want a nice, and it's a DC comic. Mm-hmm. If you want a nice 10-cent DC comic for only $3, we got you hooked up.
Daredevil 77.
Daredevil number 77, which is a book that doesn't come through very often in any grade. This is a lower grade, unfortunately, so it's only $3. But man, Gene Colan doing Daredevil, Submariner, and Spider-Man in one book. You need this book. $3 for this Daredevil number 77. Oh, hang on just a second. Alan is twerked off here. Gangsters, guys like Kingpin, hang with Spidey. Okay, all right. Nice. All right, very good.
All right. Detective Comics 462.
Detective 462, in which Batman's cold as ice. I'm not sure.
Frozen and fighting some sort of pirate.
Pirate.
You gotta read it to find out.
There you go. $3. Next up.
Not Brand X 4.
Not Brand. Number 4. $3. Next up.
House of Mystery 318.
House of Vampire. $3. Is that Kaluta cover on that?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Here's another Kaluta cover 313.
No more Vampire.
A cool Steve Ditko cover 277.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic Ditko.
And the last of our lightning round, another House of Mystery, the Kaluta cover 267.
Oh, is that the super scary version of Little Mermaid?
Oh yeah.
With featuring some kind of version of Frankenstein grabbing her out of the waves. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. Lightning round is over. Pablo, wake up.
We got some classic early John Byrne. Space 1990.
All right. Pablo, are you awake? Here we go. All right. As Chris said, Space 1999. I never was able to sit through an episode of this, although it looked pretty cool. And I'm guessing if it was the only science fiction show in the 70s, I would have probably watched it. John Byrne, early work at Charlton Comics. This is one of his earliest works here. Issue number 4 of Space 1999. Is that Martin Landau?
The only bummer was they were always in light brown. Everything was light brown.
Yeah. Light brown. $16 for this cool issue if you can't live without it. There we go. Next up. Issue 5. I mean,
another John Byrne.
John Byrne, 70s. This is, golly, 50 years ago, and it looks fantastic. Wow. Was there anybody else famous in that show? Martin Landau? Oh, yeah.
Was his wife at the time, I believe.
Oh, I did not know that.
Wasn't she Cinnamon from Mission Impossible?
There might have been some crossover.
All right, Space 1999, number 5, $10 if you claim it here. Next up.
We got a crisis on our hands.
Oh, no. They say, well, hey, Marvel, we'll take your Crisis and we'll up it a little bit. This is a complete run of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Beautiful VF copies, read once gently, and then put it away in the sock drawer so that no one else could read them. This is issue 1 through 12, all 12 issues, and we got them all bagged up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so issues 1 through 12, all 12 issues of Crisis on Infinite Earths. The great George Perez doing the artwork there. $100 for the complete set, or $75 if you claim it here. The best Crisis?
We got 1, 7, and 8 special bagged.
Oh yeah, 1, 7, and 8 in this are actually in Mylars too. I don't know, that the issue 23 and 24 is pretty cool. All right, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, all 12 issues, $75. Oh wow, autographed by Wolfman and Perez. You know, they don't sign a whole lot anymore. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Okay. Fair enough. A Marvel premiere featuring Star-Lord.
Who?
There we go. This wow, look at that. Who is the artist on that? That's crazy cool looking.
I was looking for it. I can't see any name. It doesn't look like anybody, but
it's,
it looks like it could be inked by a lot of people.
It's the guy that did a lot of work at Charlton. I forget his name. But this is a different, they really changed Star-Lord a lot for the movies. This is the final issue of Marvel Premiere that featured Star-Lord in a little run there. $10 in store, $8 if you claim it here. God, now I can't remember his name either. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Star-Lord in Marvel Premiere number 61. Next up.
DC Sampler.
DC Sampler number 3. A nice mid-grade copy of this. And why is this important? Well, it's it's a sampler, and this is something they gave away back in the day, so no one really thought much about it. But they put in the front of this one is a sample of the new Swamp Thing series, and then it features a cameo by one John Constantine. What? So technically his first appearance, and for a while during the pandemic, this was crazy expensive. Now it's just wow, really? $10. Okay. $10 for DC Sampler number 3. If you are a Vertigo or John Constantine, or as you like to call them, Hellblazer completist, you got to have this book. $7 for DC Sampler number 3. Next up.
Tom Sutton?
Yes, Tom Sutton. That's right. Tom Sutton.
Another set?
All right. It's a set of The Spirit, issue 1 through 6 from Kitchen Sink Press. Will Eisner. These weren't reprints. This was new stuff, wasn't it?
I think they were new things.
All right. Well, I guess we could have cracked them open to find out, but I don't know. From 1983, Spirit number 1 through 6. This ran a crazy number of issues, like 60 or 80 issues, but this is the first 6. If you've never checked out the greatness of Will Eisner's Spirit, here you go. For $15, you get the origin story and the first story arc. Nice, $15. Yes, thank Rich. Rich is correct. That was Tom Sutton. You are correct. All right, thank you, Rich. Next up.
We got Doorway to Nightmare.
Doorway to Nightmare. Number 1, featuring the first appearance of Madame Xanadu. Is that right? All right, and some tarot cards there in the occult. Oh, my. From 1978, first appearance of Madame Xanadu, another. Is this Colludonite or something?
Uh-huh.
All right, Fine Plus copy from 1978, $50 in store, $40 if you claim here. Is she going to be a part of that Creature Commando bit, or
I think so.
she's part of the Dark Justice League for sure. All right, she's their Phantom Stranger probably. $40 for Doorway to Nightmare, number 1, featuring Madame Xanadu. Next up.
Daredevil.
Some Daredevil. Watch out. He's going to go wild. This is a crazy cool book. It's a VG minus. So these must have been really good books. You got a Black Panther crossover inside of there. Is that a John Romita cover on that? Oh, wow. $6 for this really cool issue of Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. It's a lower grade, but that just makes it affordable, right? And watch out. Looks like Daredevil's about to go wild. Next up.
Last 3 books.
The last 3 books of tonight's show. Oh, my gosh. Hawkman with... Chris was stunned that this was the first appearance of Lion Mane. I've never even heard of Lion Mane.
There's a Baby Ruth commercial where Hawkman appeared and he's talking about Lion Mane. It's actually on the North Dallas show thing, and I'm like, I thought it was a fever dream until someone came across it on YouTube and was like, holy crap, there was a commercial. All right. Playing Hawkman and talking about Lion Mane.
All right, Hawkman versus Lion Mane, issue 20 of the Hawkman series with go-go checks on the top. $25 for this really solid fine minus copy, or $13 if you claim it here. That's right. Next up.
Number 2.
Oh, this is just a spectacular copy of Fantasy Masterpieces number 1, which is a mostly, I think it's edited just a tiny little bit to fit inside this format of the Silver Surfer number 1. Look at that greatness of John Buscema cover, recolored with a modern coloring process. But you still prefer the original, right? Oh, I do. The origin of the Silver Surfer, in which he screams "Shellaball" about 18 times, from 1980, which would have only been 12 years since the publication of Silver Surfer number 1. $30 if we have it in store, $25 if you claim it here. You too can then own the origin of the Silver Surfer. Next up.
Finally got all 5 issues of this.
All 5 issues of what is this?
It's a crossover between Justice League of America and All-Star Squadron.
Wow, is it some kind of crisis?
Crisis on Earth Prime with Per Degaton, the spare bad guy.
Wow, he looks like a D-bag to me.
He even has the D on his
All right. Degaton, is that his name?
Per Degaton.
Per Degaton. Why does he have a D if he's Per Degaton?
He's a spare. What do you expect?
I guess. All right, so this story crossed over from Justice League into All Star Squadron and back and forth for 5 issues. This is all 5 of them in one handy bit. How much do we have on that, Chris?
25 in the store, 18 if you get it here.
25 in the store. These VF minus copies are beautiful, and this
Quality when they have all the characters' heads around.
Absolutely, it's fantastic. Look at that, $18, and there we go. Another show in the books here. So we got about 12 minutes before the top of the hour, and then 15 minutes after that we'll start the second show. It's all newer stuff. If that's not your jam, I get it. But you guys have been buying a lot of the ratio variants when we put them in the show. So I thought, what the heck, we'll do just a whole show of those ratio variants. If you don't know what a ratio variant is, that is when I buy like 25 copies, they reward me by letting me buy another special cover of that issue that you must qualify for. That's how nice they are. Yes. Now, there are a couple of publishers that will gift it to you, but for the most part, at Marvel, DC, and the other big publishers, you get to buy that extra copy once you qualify. So it's called a ratio variant. There's usually 1s and 10s, 1s and 25s, 1s and 50s, and 1 and 100s, and then it gets really crazy after that. So anyway, that's the show coming up after this show. Hopefully you'll come out to the stores. Chris has been with me here. Kaylin's been making sure we're staying on the straight and narrow over there. And Cindy has been adding context from the peanut gallery over there.
Barbara Bain was Cinnamon as well as 1999 with Martin Landau.
All right. Well, there you go. Context. Put more Spidey out. All right. Well, I think there are some Spideys in that ratio variant show coming up. All right, so there we go. Another show in the books. See us in about 30 minutes, 25 minutes or so as we reset everything and get cleaned up and get ready for the second show. For Keith's Comics, I am Keith, and if I don't see you in the stores, I'll see you next time. There we go. Rich came off the top rope. Is it Taco Tuesday, Alan? All right. So we do have one more book, right, Chris?
Yes, we do.
All right. Chris picked out another book, and it is, oh my, Weird War Tales #1 with, I think we have some Kubert art in there on the cover also.
On the cover, 4 out of the 6 stories. He was the editor, so we think the fix was in on that.
There we go. From 1971. This is a good reader copy, so that just makes it super affordable. This is in high grade. This is ridiculously expensive. $20 in store, $15 if you can't live without this Weird War Tales. So it has like 4 Kubert stories, a Irv Novick story,
Russ Heath.
And a Russ Heath story. There you go. Wow, nice. All right. Southern Alabama tacos. Oh, I have to check that out. That sounds like fun. All right, for Keith's Comics, I am Keith, and if I don't see you in about 20 minutes or so, I'll see you next time.
Keith's Comics.